Doesn't matter to me.
Good evening, and welcome to the 2014 Dover Adult Learning Center of Stratford County graduation. I have just a few quick announcements before we start the ceremony. There are emergency exits around the auditorium. Please take note of the one that's nearest to you. Please also remember that there is no smoking allowed anywhere on school grounds. And if you have younger guests with you, we have provided a basket of activities out in the lobby. If they're no longer enjoying the ceremony, please feel free to take them out to the lobby and let them entertain themselves. And finally, for the grown-ups, we have light refreshments for our reception right after the graduates recess out of the auditorium. Tonight, we gather to honor and celebrate 227 individuals who completed their high school education. And sitting here in all of their splendor in their caps and gowns are about 60 of those graduates. We share in their pride and their joy, and as a community, we applaud their accomplishments. Graduates, you did it. You have completed your high school education, one of life's most significant milestones. Tonight, you're joined by friends and family members who supported you and encouraged you along the way, and by the teachers and the staff at Dover Adult Learning Center who welcomed you into their classrooms and into their hearts. We've all witnessed your hard work and seen you through the successes as well as the stumbles. Also here tonight to celebrate with you are the DALG Board of Directors and many counselors, principals, and program coordinators from schools around Stratford County who may have helped you on your journey as well. Year after year, these people, as well as the elected officials of Dover and the state of New Hampshire, have made it possible for every student in Stratford County to have the opportunity to learn and reach their own educational goals. Each person in this room has played a critical role in bringing you to this point in your life, and we want to welcome and thank you, each and every one of them. Now, I'd like to introduce Interim Superintendent Antonio Fernandez, who will offer his congratulations to the graduates.
Honored guests, colleagues, family members, and more importantly, the graduates, welcome. This is really a special night for me as well. Just to give you a little history, one time in my early career, I was Deanna Strand. I was the director of adult ed for a number of years, And so I have a special piece of me as I remember all the experience I had working with adult learners. And during that time, I truly appreciated and admired the adult learners who were willing to attend evening classes after a hard day's work or whatever experiences they may have had during the day. Collectively, they showed a determination and a willingness to enhance their education to better prepare them for the future, despite being confronted with adversity and a multitude of obstacles. Now that's courage. So when you think about it, what is courage? Well, to me, courage is doing what you're afraid of. And there could be no courage unless you're scared. Think about that first moment when you decided to make this decision, walking into that door for the first time, not knowing what to experience, whether or not you're going to be successful or whether or not you're going to be challenged. But I applaud you all for having that desire and will and determination to fulfill that quest. So I applaud you all for that. And how easy, really, think about it, how easy is it to give up? It's the easiest thing to do in life. But you had the fortitude and the ability to stick to it. You realized it was important to you as individuals. And that in itself is accomplishment that you should all be proud of. But as a former director of adult ed, throughout that program, what I did see, and I consistently observed, a common denominator about all the learners. To me, they all maintained what I observed as a positive attitude. And as a result of what I observed with these past adult learners, tonight I decided to share with you my thoughts on the importance of a positive attitude. You see, I happen to believe that it's your attitude and beliefs that hold for yourself and for others that will play a role in influencing your future. But first, let us not lose sight of your personal commitment, dedication, and hard work that has earned you the right to be a graduate from the Adult Learning Center. You all seized the opportunity through an alternative path to accomplish your goals. In a very short period of time, you will quickly come to the realization that these very traits, coupled with the right mixture of attitude, will better assist you to succeed in life. So let us be reminded that an attitude is not something you are born with, right? It's attained through a number of avenues: family beliefs, culture, school, life experiences generally contribute to one's attitude as well. Therefore, an attitude in some respects is a choice. We all have the ability to alter or change our attitudes if needed. Educator and author Dr. Charles Swindoll made the following statement on attitude: "The longer I live, the more I realize the impact of attitude on life. Attitude to me is more important than facts. It is more important than the past, than education, than money, than circumstances, than failures, than success, than what other people think, say, or do. It is more important than appearance, gift, or skill. It will make or break a company, a home, relationships." The remarkable thing is we have a choice every day regarding the attitude we will embrace for that day. We cannot change our past, so the only thing we can do is play on that string we have, and that is our attitude. I'm convinced that life is 10% what happens to me and 90% how I react to it. And so it is with you. We are in charge of our attitudes. So, clearly, the fact that you are all here this evening tells me that you have already made a connection between a positive attitude and academic success. So I strongly encourage each of you to continue to work hard, to believe in your goals, to accomplish your goals, always maintain high expectations for learning, and by all means remember that a positive attitude will carry you as far as you travel on the path to success. What you do not want to develop, and I want to instill this in all of you, please do not develop what I call atosclerosis, or hardening of the attitude. If I may, I wish to share with you a quote on the importance of a positive attitude, and it rings, it reverberates to me and makes sense. Businessman and actor Frank Outlaw states the following: "Watch your thoughts, they become words. Watch your words, they become actions. Watch your actions, they become habits. Watch your habits, they become character. Watch your character, it becomes your destiny. Congratulations, everyone. Good luck to each of you in your future endeavors, and remember, maintain a positive attitude. Thank you. So, thank you. At this time, it gives me great pleasure to introduce to you the Honorable Mayor, Karen Weston.
Good evening, and it is hot, so I promised everybody that I would keep my speech short. Right. Tonight is really an exciting night. It's really actually a great night because what's more important, it goes on Superintendent Fernandez's success comments and attitude that for whatever reason, you folks never finished your high school education, and we all understand that there are a number of reasons why you don't. But that doesn't matter. You are here, and you have now succeeded in what you're doing. So not only tonight is a night for your friends and your family, it is a night for you, because this is a night that you will never forget. I can remember 45 years ago when I graduated from Dover High School like it was yesterday. And I know I don't look that old, but it is something that you will never forget and you will share with your children. But for you folks, this is the greatest day you can ever think of, because you have now gotten your diplomas, which is really great. So after tonight, you will be successful. You will have failures that come along in your life, but with every failure, there is a success. And that success is what you folks have done tonight. For all those reasons you never finished regular school, you are here, and it is a total, true accomplishment. So when you leave here tonight, stand tall and stand strong, because this is the first day of the rest of your life, even though we've already been living it. But it truly, truly is the beginning, because tomorrow you're going to wake up and you're not going to have school to go back to, because you finally made it. So some of you who may be going on to college, I hope that you are successful. If you don't succeed the first time, keep on going back, do it again. Those of you, some of you may be changing careers now that you've gotten your diploma, because there's a lot of other job opportunities that will come out to you. So no matter what, strive to succeed, because it is within your reach. And just like tonight was, you succeeded tonight. So from the bottom of my heart, and on behalf of the City of Dover, I want to wish you well, and most of all, congratulations.
First, I want to tell you that you were almost very lucky tonight. I rode my scooter here, and I had my speech in this pocket. And when I pulled up to the corner of Washington and Chestnut and Locust, this man pulled up beside me. He said, "Something flew out of your pocket back there." Fortunately, it was there in the middle of the road, so I'm going to do it. I didn't promise to be brief, but I will be. So I want to talk to you a little bit about what life holds in store. I have just 3 questions I would like you to think about as I begin. It's especially the graduates, but also the audience, and I bet even some of the colleagues on the stage here with me. The first is, where were you 5 years ago? Just think about that. The second is, are you surprised to be here tonight? And the third is, where do you imagine you might be 5 years from today? I ask you these because I think perhaps the most important lesson I've learned in life is that we never do know what life holds in store for us. Deanna, I think this is my 10th time on this stage. Some of the happiest and most satisfying years in my life were spent as the center's executive director, and some of the most difficult. And I want to give you just two examples of the two extremes. The happiest time was when we successfully moved from the old church building. How many of you remember the old church building? Anybody in the class? You know? Okay. It wasn't the best facility in the world, as I remember. And we moved into the McConnell Center. And it was, I felt, a game-changing shift for the center. We had a facility now that was worthy of the hard work that you as graduates and the staff and the volunteers and the supporters in this community provide. And it was a validation of the organization, it was the validation of you and the work we did together. The saddest time was also a game changer for me. I lost my wife of 32 years to pancreatic cancer. Again, the support from the community, family, church, and friends kept me going and made it possible for me to go forward. We don't do these things in life alone. We do them with others. So I never expected to be the director of the Adult Learning Center. I was a French major in college, for heaven's sake. I never expected that such wonderful things would happen in my life, and I never expected such grief. So here are the answers to those three questions for me, personally. 5 years ago, June 2009, I was standing here for the last time as the executive director of the Adult Learning Center. And I was eagerly anticipating retirement. You will too, one day. Tonight, I am not surprised to be here. I remain an active supporter of DALC. I am particularly grateful for how all of you, the graduates, Deanna and the staff, the board, the volunteers, the community, how all of you have continued to make the center such a vibrant, active, successful place. Tonight, I'm not surprised that I'm remarried. I'm not surprised that I'm working part-time, doing things that I love doing. And here's the best part, worrying very little about the future. I am surprised that I am a New Hampshire state representative. I'm hoping for a second term, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity to serve my community and my state. 5 years from now, I imagine I will be surprised at where I am and what I'm doing. I imagine that surprise will include both happy parts and sad parts. Life holds more in store for me, and for you, the graduates, life holds lots more in store. I hope you will relish what comes, that you will continue to learn and to relish what life has to teach you, and that you will do your best, whatever comes, to make this world a better place for your having been here. For tonight, my warmest, heartfelt congratulations. We celebrate all of you who inspire us so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Superintendent Fernandez, Mayor Weston, and Representative Verschuren for those kind words of congratulations to the graduates. It's an occasional tradition at Dover Adult Learning Center graduations to recognize a graduate from a previous year's class who has distinguished him or herself through higher education, professional work, or community service. And this year, we are very pleased and honored to recognize a graduate who has done remarkable work in all three of these areas. When I met Tom on a panel of speakers at Great Bay Community College, I knew he would be the perfect past graduate to demonstrate that finishing high school is just the beginning of a lifetime of accomplishments, as Representative Verschuren was just pointing out. His experience exemplifies what you can do and accomplish when you seize the opportunities that life presents to you. So I'm going to ask that Tom Obrey come forward to receive this commendation from the Dover Adult Learning Center Board. And Bob Renshaw, Vice President of the Board, will present the commendation.
Thanks, Dana. You'll have to stand up here.
Just to be clear, this is Tom. All right?
All right. Well, this is a lot. You ready? There's a lot on there, bro. Okay. Whereas Thomas Obrey earned his GED at Dover Adult Learning Center in 1990. Whereas Thomas began his adult career at Cabletron in the early 1990s, making $5 an hour in the stockroom, and advanced over 5 years to become a key resource in product interface design, product support, marketing, and multimedia. Whereas Thomas, a self-taught designer and developer, co-founded Pixel Media, an interactive multimedia company in 1994, and has grown it into a full-service digital marketing studio, which was named the coolest company for young professionals in 2011, and the best small company to work for in 2012. Whereas Thomas is the dedicated father to 3 sons, Mason, Dylan, and Jackson. Whereas, there's more. Thomas was awarded an honorary degree from Great Bay Community College in 2012. Whereas Thomas has been recognized many times for his technology and design work, including being named twice to the top 100 media producers in the U.S. and receiving an award for innovation and communications from the New Hampshire Business Review and the Governor of New Hampshire. Whereas Thomas is actively involved at the state, local, and national level, supporting a variety of organizations such as the Mayhew Program for At-Risk Boys, the Boot Campaign, Fight to Educate, City Year, and the Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund. Therefore, we honor the achievements of Thomas Obrey and recognize him as a distinguished Dover Adult Learning Center graduate, given this 16th day of June 2014 Dover Adult Learning Center of Stratford County Adult High School graduation ceremonies. Good luck.
All right, now sit down, everyone. Every time I hear that bio, I think, I want to be that dude. I'm that dude today. So, I'm freaking out up here, just so you guys know. I got a jacket on because there's sweat rings down to my hips. But so I wrote a whole bunch of stuff, but it's hot in here, and there's a bunch of kids up there screaming up in the bleachers. So I'll try and be brief, which means I won't be. So. It's kind of funny, the story when I saw Dina and, you guys waving at me? No? All right, thank you, appreciate that. So when Dina saw me speak, she's like, I'd love you to come do this and come talk, and I was like, I got my thing over at the church. So I was like thinking 10 people, like circle, you know. It's like, yeah, I'll come talk. She's like, oh, I really appreciate that. Why don't you go look at the video from last year? I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. So here I am. I'm not really sure what to say to everybody here, to be honest. I know we have a lot of grads that showed up today. I don't know what your future's going to be like. Had some great words of wisdom back here. Can you hear me if I come away from the mic? Is that cool? Do I get wicked loud? Yeah. All right. So I got to make fun of myself. So for many of you, you know, this could be... it could be, quite honestly, the single biggest achievement of your life, at least so far, right? I mean, this is a big deal. I haven't been in this building in 26 years, 8 months, 1 week, and 3 days. That's accurate. I've actually never been on this stage, which this is a pretty cool view. I'm usually back there watching what's going on. So it's kind of an out-of-body experience being up here. You know, the bio is cool and the achievement is cool, but, you know, the parts they don't tell you is that I quit high school when I was 17. You know, I straight up quit. Structured learning really wasn't for me. You know, I was here, Miss Castellan was my art teacher, and I remember she pulled me aside one day. I'm Facebook friends with her, by the way, so we're tight. And Mr. Julian, greatest science teacher ever. But I'd come into school and Miss Castellan would go, God, you're so bright. Would you just pay attention for the hour you're in here? And I'm like, no. She's like, come on. I would do design work in her class, but I wouldn't do her design work. It was so irritating. So, and I quit. You know, I decided that I didn't want to be a sophomore for the third time. That's the God's honest truth. When I was a kid, what happened was that if you miss more than 14 days, you didn't get any credit. And I was what you may call a misguided youth, you know, and use my free time in interesting ways. And I had missed like 3 weeks of school. And believe it or not, it was actually in September, October of my second sophomore year. And I remember when I came back from juvie, they're like, yeah, dude. My kids are going to see this. They're going to be so mad because I've been lying to them for like 8 years. So I remember coming back, and they're like, yeah, so it's it's October, and I'm like, yeah, you're not going to graduate, by the way. I mean, you're not going to go to the next grade. I'm like, what do you mean I'm not going to go to the next grade? It's October. They said, yeah, well, you were out the 14 days. I don't know if that's still a rule. And I was like, I'm out. I'm done. You know, school is not for me. Sitting in class and learning how to do things with 25 other kids that were way smarter than me, and all the cliques and all the crap and everything going on outside. So I bailed, to be quite honest. Today I'm 44. It's kind of funny, coolest young company. I'm like an old man. My hair's falling off my head, growing on my back, which, if any of you older guys, you never lose your hair, you just can't see it anymore. So, and I am a dad. I have 3 little boys. And truth be told, I go to work every day. So I do own a business with Dover High grad Eric Dodier. I don't know why he picked me to do this 20 years ago. We employ about 60-ish, 65 families down in Portsmouth. When I grew up, Portsmouth was like California to me. I had never been across a bridge until I was 24. I was like, he's like, we should go to Portsmouth and have a business. I'm like, dude, that's like across the bridge. Like, I'd have to take a coast bus to the Fox Run Mall, and then I wouldn't know how to get down there. I could walk to the Newington Mall, which if you remember that. So I'm just a dude with kids and a job and bills, right? Like many of you, I go to work every day to pay my bills so that I can play and hang out and spend time with my family. Deep down, I'm still that kid, you know? I'm still that kid that dropped out, right? I'm still that kid that made weird decisions. You know, I'm still working on that, to be honest with you. So, but I'm a Dover kid, born and raised, other than a small stint up in Somersworth. I've literally lived all over town, so I sat down and tried to go from memory here. So I got to read this because it took me a couple of days. So I lived in the projects. I grew up. I spent my first few years Central Ave, New York Street, Washington Street, Tri-City Apartments, which if anyone knows what Weeks was, not Crossing, but Circle. That's up past there. White Cliffs, Garrison Hill, Backwater Road, Park Street, Lexington Street, Locust Street, Belknap Street, Prospect Street. All right. That was before I was 20. 20 years and 15 places I can remember. I wrote some pretty good stuff here. I ought to read it. So leaving and getting my GED. So I actually left Dover. So you want to know how to stay out of trouble and start a new life? Get the hell out of here. Okay? So here's the funny part. I didn't have a car or a license, so out of here was just someplace that I couldn't walk downtown. So I ended up moving to Rochester. Don't hate. I didn't have a car or a license. I didn't get my license, I think. I got my license when I was 18 because that's when you didn't have to take driver's ed, and then I got a car when I was maybe 22-ish or something like that. But anyways, so I moved out, and the reason I got my GED, this is going to be a while, so you guys better get a coffee or something. Do not touch the juice in the lobby. I heard it's not until afterwards. So the reason that, by the way, I got my GED in April of 1990. It came in the mail with a letter. We didn't have this thing here. If we did, I didn't know about it. We hung out in a church. Miss McAdam here, actually, who I haven't seen in since I was 24 years, yeah, actually brought me in. I was like, the GED. So what happened was my mom got hers, and my mom at the time was 40-ish, 41. And she got it, and you had a little score, like you got like a 62 or 63 or so. I'm going from memory. I'm probably half wrong, but I'm half right, so that's okay. And I was like, well, Ma's got it, so I might as well go take that test. And everyone always told me, you got to go back, dude. You're a bright kid. You got to go. You got to stop getting in trouble and you know, being arrested and all that type of stuff. And so I did it. I actually did it because my mother did it, and I did it because I wanted to see. I wanted to actually accomplish something and see, could I go take this test? Was I a smart kid or a dumb kid, right? You always wonder that. Where are you on the intelligence scale? We have the internet now. You can just go up and take a test, which is kind of cool, and that didn't help. So I still have my GED and my letter in my home. It's one of the only artifacts that I actually hold, including a picture of when I played for McDonald's, which I'm going to tell you a little story about. Yeah, dude, that's a big deal, because I've had places burned down, broke into. We've had all sorts of crazy stuff. I know exactly where they are. I'm used to presenting with a big screen behind me, so I would have had a picture of my kids and my GED and everything, and I got one. Diener actually showed me the paperwork. I know you guys, it used to be done with pencil back in the day, so if you can believe that. They're artifacts from a life lived that gave me, honestly, a sense of pride. I don't think there was any prouder moment for me than when I got my GED. It was like the first time I was like, yeah, I did it, you know. I didn't go through high school and all that stuff, but it was the first thing that I really did for myself, and at the time I actually happened to be working up at Cabletron. It was the greatest thing of my life, except for this one time, okay? I got my first hit playing baseball. Remember I said I have two things, my GED and a picture of me? 1977, I played for McDonald's. We used to play down at Garrison School before they put all those cheesy condos in down there. It was my first hit ever. And the irony of that is my kids are 8 and 10 and 10 right now, and it was the last game. It was the last at bat. I had never had a hit in my life, which is why I'm finally telling this story. And there were 2 outs. And of course they call my name, and everyone's like, oh, it's TJ. That's what they call me, if you know me. Here we go. And I got up there and I wailed that ball for the first time ever. I couldn't believe I hit the damn thing. It was like an out-of-body experience. It was like, wow, that thing just went between first and second. And everyone's yelling, run! I'm like, I better run. So I get to first base and I'm like, whoo, this is awesome out here. I've never seen it out here. Because I played, right? I played left field where no kid ever hits the ball. You know, I was that kid out there. And then I got to second base because Matt Demers got a hit right behind me. I think it was Matt's first hit, too. And I got to second base, and I remember thinking, wow, this is the greatest thing ever. And for me, in getting my GED, which is, I don't know, do they call it that? Do we call it the GED? I don't know. It was a lot like that, no lie. One of the proudest moments of my life, and I have kept that piece of paper forever. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that the brightest of lights emerge from the darkest of darks. And there's been 100 examples in my life when it's been rough. Listen, I own a business. I got a nice jacket, fancy boots, and all that. But, you know, I spent the first 25 years trying to discover that, right? And I'm 44. I've spent the last 20 years still trying to stay on track. It's real easy to get off track. I think if I have one thing to say to you guys, it's stay on track. You know, this is a chance for you to do something that you know, means a lot to you. And this is not a piece of paper. And you're not going to realize that for a long time. I wish I realized it a little sooner. This is a big deal for you guys here. It's a big deal for anybody that came here to watch these folks. I guarantee you if this sort of thing happened when I was a kid, the only person in the audience would be my mother. And that's because she had her GED. And then my little brother Brian because, well, he'd have to come. And he'd be back there like these kids, getting their feet stuck in the chairs and yelling and screaming every 15 minutes, which I love. You have taken the road less traveled, and you've landed in a great spot. You know, you're at the doorfront of the rest of your life. I know I've been there. You can file this away, call it good, and go back to life if you want. You know, we all have those choices. I decided to move. You can look at going to college. I heard somebody mention that, you know, there's a few of you that would do that. Now, listen, I didn't go to college. I just didn't do it. I didn't have any cash. You know, I called it papering up. So, you know, at Great Bay, they gave me an honorary thing. And the first thing I said was, like, my mother was there. I'm like, Ma, I got paper. You can see this as the first step of a plan to change your life as well. I know that there's a lot of diversity here, a lot of real young kids, at least young to me. You each have a story, and it's very unique to you and your circumstances, and it's a story worth living. And who knows, maybe, just maybe, one day, you'll be telling your friends about this, or you'll be talking to your kids about this, or maybe you'll be up here one day. It's a big deal. I didn't take this lightly. I actually prepared. What's up, dude? You waving at me again? I saw you the whole time. Or more important, maybe you'll tell this story to a stranger one day. An unknown someone that needs a flicker of support and encouragement. You know, maybe that'll be your moment. I honestly wouldn't be here today speaking. I probably wouldn't even be alive. That's kind of some of the weird things I done had it not been for this moment. My moment 24 years ago actually changed me. Not right away, but it definitely changed me. I always like to say that progress is measured in the small steps we take every day to better ourselves and those around us. It's up to you to decide what sort of step this is. But know this, no matter what, you all have done something very special. You'll look back and you'll remember this. No lie. Because this was all you, nobody else. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
That was great. Tom mentioned that you all have a story, and now is the part of the night, my favorite part, because we get to hear some of your stories. I have the honor of presenting the essay contest winners, and as usual, I try to take a sneak peek at all the essays because I'd like to hear your stories, but we can only hear 3 tonight, and they were all wonderful, and I know the judges must have had a really difficult time choosing the winners this year. So congratulations to everybody who wrote an essay, and I will present the winners. Our third place winner, who needs to come up here and receive his gift and read his essay for us, is Robert Richard.
PG-13.
Oh, reading this thing. Yeah, right. God, I never thought I'd see this view. Well, this day. Here goes. The year was 2002 when I first walked through the doors of the Dover Adult Learning Center. My mother was dying of cancer, and I was a father of 3 beautiful young children. So to say I had a lot on my plate would be an understatement. But I had made a promise to my mother and to my oldest sister, who pretty much raised me, who's out in the audience, Kara, I love you, that I would graduate somehow, some way. And as we all know, life gets away from us all, and my education would fall on the back burner. I would go back several times over the years trying to finish what I had started, but somehow life would continue to get in the way. If there was a prize for the thickest folder, I would have won first. It's this thick, that's Pam, it probably weighs 20 pounds. But you know, but no matter how many times I would walk through the doors over the years, I always got treated like I never left. So I guess what I'm trying to say, if that there is any question to their dedication to education, that I am living proof. It has been over 10 years since I began my journey, and this chapter of my journey will end 2 days before my 40th birthday, on Wednesday. Going into my next 40 years and a new chapter of my life, I have this to say. I have learned that anything worth having is worked for, no matter, and I wrote this thing and I can't even read it. I have learned that anything worth having is worked for no matter how long it takes, no matter what is going on in life, or no matter how old you are. So when it comes to your education, there is never too much going on, there is never too much time going by, and you're never too old. Especially when you have such dedicated people in your life to help you along your way. So in closing, I would like to give a big thanks to my family for believing in me, to the staff of the Dover Adult Learning Center for their dedication to my education. Again, thank you. And to my mom, who's watching from upstairs, I did it. Thank you. I'm nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs.
Our second place winner tonight is Carl Conkle. I should probably put this up.
Yes. Hi, my name's Carl. First of all, I want to say hi to my newest friend, Gabby Rogers. I just met this girl and she's awesome. Yes. I have learned so much about myself through getting my high school equivalency diploma at Stratford County Department of Corrections. Through Dover Adult Learning Center, this process has opened my eyes to many things about myself, life in general, and the power of education. For the first time, I truly feel good about myself. During my life, I have made many mistakes. Some of these mistakes led me to be incarcerated at the Stratford County Department of Corrections, known as the county jail. But these mistakes have become lessons that will not be repeated. Being incarcerated offered me the opportunity to pursue my high school equivalency diploma and learn many other life skill lessons. This experience has truly changed my life and opened doors that I have always thought would remain locked to me. Hi, babies. That feeling of accomplishment when Jake Collins told me that I have passed was beyond words. I was in a state of euphoria. Prior to earning my GED, I thought I was not smart enough to reach that goal. I thought it was not an accomplishable dream. Now I know better. Dreams do come true if you work hard enough. You have to do the footwork before you can dance. Earning my GED gave me the confidence to pursue other goals and dreams. My adult education experience has taught me that time is priceless. I learned that I have to utilize every moment of my life. The choices I make today impact the life tomorrow and every day after. Consequently, I have continued to pursue my knowledge through healthy thinking patterns, new living strategies, continuing my education at night classes, working at a challenging and rewarding job, and learning to love myself. What I have learned about myself through my adult education experience, I have learned that I can't change the past, but I can only change my behaviors. I can grow educationally, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. The person I am today is not the person I was 2 years ago. I now know I must be accountable for my actions. I have learned that no one is exempt from life's pitfalls. I have learned that from hard, honest day's work is more valuable than any dollar acquired on the streets. I have learned that an equivalency diploma does open doors in the job market. I have learned that education comes in many forms, and finally, I have learned I love learning. I would like to conclude this personal statement. When one starts to love himself, he loses motives to hurt others. Thank you. Thank you, Tom. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, and our first place winner tonight is Sherry Gibbons.
Yeah, okay. I'm loud anyway, so. Let me start by thanking Dover Adult. I mean, their staff is incredible, and I'm going to cry. I'm sorry. The teachers are amazing. Can you two stand up, please, Van Dyke, Ms. Parson, any other teachers that actually teach at the, All right. I told myself I wasn't going to cry, but it's pretty emotional. I walked into Dover Adult 2.5 years ago with very low self-esteem and feeling incomplete. I was scared to death of failing. Not only myself, but my husband and my children. Needing 16 credits for an adult diploma made me realize that this was it. If I was serious about bettering myself, this was the time to do it. I took that next step. That first night of classes, I was shaking uncontrollably, kind of like tonight. My stomach was doing flip-flops as I walked down the same hallways I had walked away from 26 years ago. Walking through the classroom door to a smiling Miss Mercereau changed my life forever. I had a chance to speak to her one-on-one before the other students showed. She assured me that I could do this and felt that I would become someone who the younger adults would look up to. She also said that I was an inspiration to her. I found myself relaxing and realizing by the end of the class that we were all there for the same reason. As the classes began to fly by, I realized I actually loved to learn. I was accepting not only by my teachers, but also by my classmates. My self-esteem soared. My love of history and English blossomed. I was being subjected to so many different types of literature. I also began to write, and I was hooked. I found myself looking for more and more English classes I could take. I was accomplishing what I set forth to do. I knew there was a reason I chose this path, and it was becoming more and more clear as my classes went on. I watched these amazing teachers connect on different levels with their students and began to wonder, could I do that? I believed I really could, but I let it continue to sit in the back of my head for now. One teacher in particular fed my knowledge immensely. Mrs. Jennifer Passant opened my eyes to a whole new world of literature and creative writing. Through her, I have truly found my love for English. I watched her interaction with her students and wanted to be just like her. She was not only showed me that there really are teachers out there who will go above and beyond what need be, but also teaching me how to go outside my comfort zone and reach for the stars, to never stop wanting more for myself. She has been an amazing mentor to me. I realize now that I have always been an intelligent person who just needed to set goals for myself. In setting goals for myself and achieving the success I have, I feel accomplished and complete. I know now I cannot fail unless I let myself fail. I believed getting my high school diploma would be the end to my journey. I realize now that I am just beginning my next adventure of many more to come. Whew. Thank you.
Like you just heard Sherry say, this is just the beginning of many adventures to come, and many of you have plans to go on to do further education. And in order to support you in that next step in your educational journey, We have presentations of scholarships next from several different sources. And the first set of scholarships will come from the Dover Rotary Club, who for many years has supported the center by funding scholarships for tuition for classes and for testing fees, and at graduation for post-secondary education. And so this year, the Rotary Club is awarding 3 $500 scholarships to 3 very deserving students. And Representative Jim Verschuren, who is not only a New Hampshire representative, the former Dover Adult Learning Center executive director, is also a member of the Dover Rotary Club, so he will present these scholarships now.
I never miss an opportunity to be in front of this group. Okay. So the first winner of our first $500 scholarship goes to a very persistent woman who will receive her adult high school diploma tonight after completing 16 credits in 2.5 years. I wonder who this might be. Through this process, she has discovered a passion for English, literature, and creative writing. She credits her teachers for showing her how to connect academically and emotionally with the subject matter. She would like to become one of those special teachers. She will start classes at Great Bay Community College in the fall to pursue the liberal arts teacher prep program. Please come back forward, Sherry Gibbons.
You gotta do it one more time, Sherry.
Thank you so much. Sherry, congratulations.
Thank you.
That was a wonderful.
Thank you.
Our next winner is a young graduate who was able to fulfill her dream of graduating high school at 16. She has been accepted to Gordon College and hopes to pursue a degree in outdoor recreation ministries and possibly become a director of the camp where she enjoyed 10 summers as a camper. She expects her degree to prepare her for the responsibility of caring for the physically, emotional, and spiritual needs of hundreds of girls each summer. I am pleased to award this scholarship to Gabrielle Rogers. Yeah, Gabby, huh? Gabby, good luck to you. It's a wonderful aspiration.
Thank you so much.
You'll do well. Our final winner returned to school after being away for about 15 years. According to his application, his goals for the future are quite simple. Finish college, get a great job, and never stop learning. He hopes to pursue a career in information systems technology. He is enrolled to start classes at Great Bay Community College in the fall. I am pleased to award this scholarship to James E. Braga. James, congratulations. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
My name is Tracy Donaldson. I'm the counselor in Rochester for Dover Adult Learning Center. Tonight I'll be presenting the Betsy Hackett Memorial Scholarship. Betsy Hackett taught at Dover Adult Learning Center for many years and was especially fond of working with women in transition. The recipient of this year's scholarship has made tremendous gains both academically and personally in the past few months. She knows that persistence, hard work, and confidence in her abilities are the keys to her success. With her high school equivalency complete, she plans to enroll in school to become a dental hygienist. I am pleased to award this scholarship to Bria Carboni. The next scholarship is the Helen Phipps and Debbie Tasker Scholarship. Helen Phipps was the founder and first director of the Learning Center, and Debbie Tasker was the director for many years. Both women served the center with great passion for the adult learner. The recipient of this year's scholarship is a student who has learned that her hard work and effort will help her reach her goals. Her high school equivalency is the first accomplishment toward reaching her future career goals. This student hopes to attend Great Bay Community College's Vet Tech program. She plans on continuing through to eventually become a veterinarian. I am pleased to award this scholarship to Jamie Dumont.
I'm going to invite Donna McAdam to come to the stage to present the scholarship that was named in her honor.
Congratulations, graduates. Congratulations. It's my special honor to be here, and especially to see some of my special friends among the graduates tonight. When you see this little thing down below, it says 42 years of excellence. We've been having graduations for 40 years. We didn't the first 2 years. But for those last 40 years, I've only missed one. I was out of town. And when I hear former students and the essay winners, it's one of the brightest nights you could possibly have. Don't you all agree? Yeah. Yeah. When I learned the name of the student who has been given the scholarship that was created in my name, I realized that I have known and loved many members of this person's family over many years. This is a teen who struggled to complete her high school education the traditional way, but she easily passed the new HiSET. Throughout this process, she has learned that she is smart and that she has potential to succeed at whatever she decides to do. She has wanted to become a licensed nurse's aide since middle school, and she plans to enroll in the program as soon as possible. Brianna Little. Congratulations, Brianna. And Amanda.
And Manette Nduisi will join us on the stage to present the scholarship that was named in her honor.
I must say that although Donna's been here for 40 of the graduations. I've been here for 35 of them. And I'm here because Donna convinced me, but once you get Dover Adult Learning Center in your heart, it stays forever. So it is my honor to tell you a little bit about the person who is being awarded this scholarship. This person, I think when Tom spoke about learning from the darkest of the dark comes the brightest of the bright. And this is what happened. I feel that in my many years of teaching, I've often heard of students saying how a teacher has inspired him or her. But in this case, this is a student who has been an inspiration to me. His love of learning, his excitement of learning, his entire, love of the new things of life. It is my honor to present this award to Carl Conkle. I am so proud of you. I love what you're doing.
And now we get to the part of the ceremony that you've all been waiting for, the presentation of the diplomas and certificates. We'll begin our presentations with the adult high school diploma. And I've been joined at the podium with the Dover School Board Chair, Amanda Russell, and our liaison to the board, Carol Sewell McCammon, and Bev O'Brien, our adult high school diploma counselor. The folks who have graduated with their diploma had to complete a course of study that was prescribed by the state of New Hampshire and approved by the Dover School Board. They had to complete coursework in English, math, science, social studies, as well as art, technology, and many other electives in order to earn the required credits. So, we'll be calling you up by name. As we call your name, please come forward to receive your diploma. Okay. Christine Naomi Bairstow. Mackenzie Lynn Call. Sherry Lynn Gibbons. You're doing great. Amy LaPierre.
Congratulations.
James Edward McAdams. Brian McKinney. Caitlin N. Merrill. Our largest group of graduates has earned the New Hampshire High School Equivalency Certificate by passing either the GED or the HiSET exam. And this is no easy task. These exams are made up of 5 high-stakes tests that can take up to 8 hours to complete. Each student must master content in science, social studies, reading, writing, and math in order to qualify to take the test. Graduates, will you please come forward to be recognized? Stephanie Amarina. Deanne Amarina. Bria Carbone. Alora Carney. Kyrie Maynard. Essence Marbury. Brianna Little. Dora T. Gates. Matthew French. Kendra Fogg. Angela Worcester. Cheyenne Starr Lehman. Alex Ashley. Cameron Johnston. Brandon Adjutant. Samantha Brown. Brianna Hickey. Stone Turcott. Brian Grant. Samantha Goodwin. Hold on just a sec. Okay. Eric Lehman. Lindsay Nato. Zachary Rawson. Shelby Hamlinger. Jessica Klingensmith. Nick Morin. Amanda Miglianico. Ziana Whitney. James Spinney. Amanda Hogan. Robert Richard. Gabrielle Rogers. Carl Conkle. Miranda Biggs. Joshua Bassett. James Braga. Brenda Nason. Tiffany Druin. Whitney Davey. Mike Bonar. Amber Morin. Heather Singletary. Jamie Dumont. Cassandra Land. Emily Westcott. Milchie Carroll. Ethan White. Juan Santiago. Connor William Parsons. Graduates, this is the end of your high school education, but it is the beginning of so much more. Your new certificate or diploma is the ticket to opportunities and experiences that you didn't have access to before today. College, careers, jobs, the armed forces, apprenticeships are all available to you now. In the words of Ralph Waldo Emerson, I encourage you to dare to live the life you have dreamed for yourself. Go forward and make your dreams come true. Unless you try to do something beyond what you have already mastered, you will never grow. And we hope that you will continue to seek out our help as you prepare for the next step in your education, whether it's career searching, training program selection, or college preparation. Now, we have one more thing to do before we gather in the lobby for refreshments. Guests, I ask you that you remain seated until the graduates have recessed out of the auditorium, but graduates, please stand. Okay, are you ready? Tassels from the left to the right to indicate that you are now a high school graduate. Congratulations.